Hello everyone, hope you're all doing fine. So today's topic is pyrimidine biosynthesis. So before I discuss about pyrimidine biosynthesis, I just want to give you a quick info of nucleic acid. In 1871, a young Swiss physician and a chemist named Frederick Miescher isolated a material from nuclei of pus cells. He named it as nuclein. This substance was very much different from other carbohydrates, fats, protein, and it was found in acidic in nature and contained a large proportion of phosphates. Altman, in 1889, he named it as nucleic acid. And later research showed that it has contained various nitrogen bases like adenine, guanine, cytosine, uracil, thymine, as well as sugar components like ribose, deoxyribose. So the nucleic acid which yield ribose sugar is RNA, and the nucleic acid which yield deoxyribose is DNA. So for the formation of this nucleic acid, we need some nitrogen bases and phosphates, some ribose sugars. So when we hydrolyze this nucleic acid, it will give out nucleotide. When we hydrolyze the nucleotide, it will give out nucleoside plus H3PO4. And when we again hydrolyze this nucleoside, it will give out 2-purine, 2-pyrimidine appendose sugar. So we know what all things are we use to make up this nucleic acid. So the bases, the nitrogen bases can be purine or pyrimidine. Like here, you can see here, purine contains double ring structure and the pyrimidine contains single ring structure. Okay, and we are discussing about only pyrimidine biosynthesis here. So pyrimidine has cytosine, thymine, uracil. Cytosine which is indicated by capital letter C, thymine which is indicated by capital letter T, uracil which is indicated by capital letter U. And the pyrimidine biosynthesis happens by two ways, like de novo pathway and salvage pathway. So first we are going to discuss about de novo pathway. So for that, H3O3 carbonate will bind with glutamine. Glutamine we are using because it is non-toxic. Ammonia it is a nitrogen source. Glutamine is used as a nitrogen source here instead of ammonia because ammonia is really toxic. So glutamine plus this carbonate form will yield carbamyl phosphate with the help of the enzyme carbamyl phosphate synthetase 2. That is the first step and it is irreversible. And this carbamyl phosphate, with the help of an amino acid aspartate, will yield carbamyl aspartate. It is done with the help of an enzyme aspartate transcarbamylase. Here nothing is produced, nothing is released, and they are just making a compound carbamyl aspartate by combining this carbamyl phosphate and aspartate. Then this carbamyl aspartate will change into dihydroorotate with the help of enzyme dihydroorotase. Here the carbamyl aspartate have a open ring structure. We just keep simply flipping it and forms a closed ring structure, dihydroorotate, with the help of dihydroorotase enzyme. Then this dihydroorotate will change into orotate by the energy conversion or reduction of FAD to FADH2. Just simple rearrangement of dihydroorotate will yield this orotate with the help of reduction of FAD to FADH2. And it is with the help of enzyme dihydroorotate dehydrogenase. This dihydroorotate dehydrogenase is seen in outer surface of inner mitochondria. Then that's how the orotate is formed from dihydroorotate. And in left side you can say ribose 5-phosphate is yielding PRPP. PRPP means phosphoribosol 1-phosphopyrophosphate. So the ribose 5-phosphate will yield this PRPP. That is, this PRPP is under the negative allosteric regulation of ATP and GTP. PRPP is also a precursor of purine synthesis, and it is also used as used in number of nucleotide formation of salvage pathway itself. So this ribose 5-phosphate, by utilizing the ATP energy, the ATP is changed into AMP, and then it attached to the first carbon. That phosphate is attached to the first carbon with pyrophosphate. The PRPP, then this PRPP with orotate will change into OMP. OMP means orotate monophosphate. It releases that pyrophosphate, and because of this hydrolysis of this pyrophosphate, it gives the energy to do, the reaction to do more. This is an irreversible step. The formation of OMP is an irreversible step. Then this OMP changed into UMP by simply eliminating the carbon dioxide, and then UMP is changed into UTP by utilizing the ATP energy. That ATP will change it into AMP to make this UMP to UTP. Then the final product CTP will be formed with the help of, before it I want to say that UMP will be changed into UTP with the help of ATP. ATP changed into AMP with the help of an enzyme nucleoside kinase. And again the ATP is utilized to form CTP from UTP. Here also the glutamine is used for the nitrogen donation. So this is de novo pathway. You can see the structures here, which we were used HCO3 glutamine, carbamyl phosphatase synthetase 2. With the help of carbamyl phosphatase synthetase 2, we made it carbamyl phosphate. Then aspartate amino acid is entering, and conjoining them we got carbamyl aspartate, and with the help of dihydroorotate is changed into dihydroorotate. Then with the help of dihydroorotate dehydrogenase, it is changed into orotate, and then OMP, then UMP, then last OMP, then UMP, then UMP to UTP and CTP, as we said before. Then the next stage, salvage pathway. As you can see, the most pyrimidines which is used by the body is not created by the de novo pathway. However, it is extracted from the digested food or salvaged from the cell breakdown products. So this is the structure. This is salvage pathway. Here simply the ATP is used. That is, when the ATP is used, that there is happening some phosphorylation reactions, and the kinase enzyme is utilized here. So thymidine plus ATP will gives you TMP plus ADP. That ATP transfer that phosphate, okay, and that ATP will change it into ADP. This is catalyzed by thymidine kinase enzyme. So phosphorylation happens here. So in all this process which happens in the salvages, phosphorylation happens, kinase enzyme is utilized. Next, uridine. Uridine plus ATP, also it will change into UMP plus ADP. This phosphate group is also transferred. The ATP is changed to ATP, ADP. And here is thymine plus deoxyribose 1-phosphate changed into thymine plus phosphate inorganic, and pyrimidine plus PRPP, pyrimidine nucleoside 5-phosphate. Simply we are just doing phosphorylation with the help of different kind of kinase enzymes. So this is de novo, not de novo, this is salvage pathway. This pathway is de novo pathway. The most of pyrimidine which is used by our body is made up with this salvage pathway. The regulation of the pyrimidine synthesis is mainly in bacteria. aspartate transcarbamylase catalyze a committed step in pyrimidine biosynthesis. We discussed about aspartate transcarbamylase, which is seen in de novo pathway, where the carbamyl phosphate and aspartate is conjoined with the help of aspartate transcarbamylase. So, for the regulation of the pyrimidine synthesis in bacteria, aspartate transcarbamylase catalyzes a committed step in pyrimidine biosynthesis. ATPase is a good example of an enzyme controlled by feedback mechanism by the end product CTP. And carbamyl phosphate synthetase 2. Discussed carbamyl phosphate synthetase 2 when this conversion of HCO3 to carbamyl phosphate, it was done by carbamyl phosphatase synthetase 2. So the carbamyl phosphate synthetase 2 is the regulatory enzyme of pyrimidine synthesis in animal. It is activated by PRPP and ATP and inhibited by UDP and UTP. OMP decarboxylase inhibited by UMP and CMP also controls pyrimidine formation. So these are the regulation of pyrimidine synthesis. Hope you understand. Hope it helps. Thank you.